Good morning to everybody. Welcome to this Info Day welcome session concerning the CITADEL Eurocluster project, which objective is to secure Europe's future through a green and digital transition. So we are going to present you the open call 1. So I'm sharing the agenda. So I'm going to introduce the CITADEL project. So I am AKTANTIS from the Deep Tech Cluster Systematic Paris-Région. And then I will give the floor to Marielle from AKTANTIS, which is going to present the CITADEL Open Call 1 presentation and the evaluation and selection process. And then I will take back the floor and talk about the way to find partners. And we will end up with question and answers. And by the way, if you have any questions during the presentation, you can go on the bottom right of the interface of the Livestream page, and then you can ask questions directly, and we will there's somebody from our team that is going to answer to your question directly, and else you can finish by the end of the project and to say your question to the team. So what is the CITADEL project? So the CITADEL project is a European cluster-driven initiative that is designed to support and accelerate European SMEs that are led to innovation in the civil security sector by connecting innovation supply with the real market demand. So there are three main objectives. The first one is ecosystem networking and matchmaking. The second one is structured open calls with cascade funding. So that's the aim of this presentation. And to monitor and accelerate the acceleration of selected innovation projects. And the overall aims is to accelerate the adoption of innovative security solutions all across Europe. The important information is that the starting date will start the 1st of October 2020, started in 25, and the duration is 36 months. It's a funding program, the Single Market Eurocluster program, co-funded by the European Union. So what is our mission? Our mission is to support innovation, networking, and adoption of new processes and advanced technologies on the security value chain. Our vision is to reinforce the resilience of European critical infrastructures facing emerging threats by leveraging the synergies between digital and green transitions. And we have 4 main strategic objectives that are implemented through cascade funding. The first one is to stimulate collaborations between digital companies and the security sector. The second one is to accelerate the adoption of innovative digital technologies in the security sector as well. The third one is to improve the resilience of European critical infrastructures. And the last one is to facilitate access to security markets for innovative SMEs. We are a consortium with 6 different partners. So Systematic is the coordinator, but we have also partners from Lithuania, Romania, and Finland. Also with 2 other partners from France, especially AKTANTIS and SAFE. AKTANTIS is going to present the following slides. And our idea is really to develop a strong regional anchoring through the project, to have complementary expertise across the security value chains, and to try with this consortium to wide European outreach. And as I mentioned before, the project is co-founded by the European Union. And now I'm giving the floor to Marielle from AKTANTIS, that she's going to present the Open Call 1 presentation. Marielle?
Yes, thank you very much, Alain, and good morning, everyone. So indeed, AKTANTIS, to which I belong, is the French cluster, specialized in deep tech technology in the southern part of France, so Région Côte d'Azur, Provence-Alpes-Côte d'Azur, and Région Occitanie, covering subjects like microelectronics, AI, IoT, cybersecurity, and photonics optics. And we are one of the members of the CITADEL consortium, and we are particularly in charge of the operational part of the first open call for 2026. So I'm going to present you now more into details how the Open Call 1 has been built and give you all the hints to apply and to have successful proposals for this call. I would like to start now to tell you a few elements about what the cascade funding mechanism is, in case you are not so much familiar with that, since it's really at the heart of the approach that we have in CITADEL. So actually, cascade funding, that we called also FSTP for financial support to third party, is a mechanism designed by the European Commission in order to distribute smaller amounts of public funded in a more agile and more efficient way than the traditional funding models. Actually, we, CITADEL, as a consortium, have replied to a call for projects, quite classically in the European Commission funding programs. And we have been allocated 2.6 million projects, so CITADEL, in which we engage ourselves to redistribute part of this budget, so more than 75% of our budget, via open calls, focusing on SMEs. And this is what is particularly interesting, because the open calls here are managed directly by larger EU projects like CITADEL. And it means that we can have a lighter and simplified administrative processes, faster decision-making process, and also innovation funding, which is delivered as a lump sum grant. So overall, the reporting process is also simplified, which means also less bureaucracy for you and more focused on the innovation. So it's really quite interesting for those who are less familiar with EU fundings, and also those who are looking for more modest fundings for targeted innovations. So now let me give you some concrete details on how the cascade funding in CITADEL works. So in CITADEL, we are going to fund 9 months demonstration and pilot projects, and each selected project can receive up to 60,000 euros as a lump sum. And more importantly, this funding is shared among the SME partners exclusively working on the same project. We required co-financing from private sources for at least 20%, which actually would demonstrate the real commitment from the companies involved. And the project can involve partners coming from all the EU 27 member states, plus the countries associated with the Single Market Program. I will come back on that later on. So you can see here on the slide the key numbers that you should remember. So in total, we have almost 2 million euro budget that will be redistributed during 2 open calls, so half during the first call and the second half during the next call next year. We will redistribute that to projects having at least 2 partners, receiving each of them 60,000 euros. So in total, in CITADEL, for the open call 1, we are going to distribute 1,020,000 euros to fund 17 projects, 17. The collaboration rules are clear. We are looking for collaborative projects where what we call tech-savvy companies, so namely companies from the technological sector or digital sector in particular, work together with the companies, entities from the security domain. And the goal here will be to demonstrate how a digital solution in a real or near real conditions can address concrete security use case and concrete security challenges. So what are we looking for more specifically? So we are looking for consortium of exactly 2 partners, so no more, no less. So this consortium must be composed on one side of 1 digital or technological SME, and on the other side, 1 security end user, which can be either an SME or non-SME organization as a second partner. Your companies must be established in the countries which are eligible in the Single Market Program, namely the EU member states, and also the associated countries that you can see here. So on top of the 27 member states, there are 12 other associated countries which are eligible, namely Iceland, Norway, Liechtenstein, Albania, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Kosovo, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Serbia, Turkey, Moldova, and Ukraine. We actively encourage cross-border partnership. In fact, it is allowed to have partnership with 2 entities from the same country. However, in the case your 2 partners come from different countries, you will receive 1 bonus point in the evaluation. This is done because the European dimension is also important for us and for the European Commission, which is the funding body behind us. Quite a critical point here, only SMEs are eligible to receive funding. So if your partner number 2 is not an SME and user, they can, of course, participate and be fully engaged. However, the grant will only go to the SME partner number 1. If the 2 partners are SMEs, the 60,000 euros grant must be distributed among the 2 partners, and it's up to you to decide how you would like to distribute it. Finally, as I said, regarding the co-financing, you need at least to present 20% of funding from private sources. This can be covered either by the own financial resources of the SME, like equity capital, or by a guarantee from external financing or from your own treasury. However, contributions like in-kind contributions, personal costs, or non-monetary contributions do not count. So we need really monetary commitment here. Concerning the project themselves, let me explain which type of projects we are thinking. As I said, we are going to select 17 SME-led innovations projects that can contribute across 5 important dimensions. The first one is a technological innovation. We would like to have projects that demonstrate and validate advanced security solutions in areas like AI, like IoT, photonics, cybersecurity, and communication. And the goal here is really to accelerate the uptake and the deployment of these technologies and the security tech sectors. Regarding the TRL readiness level, we are looking for projects that starts at TRL 5 or 6 as a minimum, and then that have the capacity to grow of at least 1 TRL level, so namely that have the capacity to be at least at TRL 6 or 7 at the end of the funding from CITADEL. It means that we are really focusing on technology that are really approaching market readiness. The second point is about the operational and the security benefits. Your solutions really should improve, for instance, threat detection capabilities, or enhance the resilience of critical infrastructures, or improve the emergency response, or enhance the safety in urban environments, including crowd management and large event security. Then thirdly, the economic and the market impact. We are really interested in projects that support faster commercialization, that can create new business opportunities, and that can support the competitiveness of European security companies globally. Then the social impact and the policy impact will also be important. Your projects through the strengthened public confidence, advanced green and digital transformation, and also contributing to the security policy and standards. And finally, as the 5th point that will be also assessed, it will be important that your projects will generate lessons learned, generate best practices, and also some insights regarding potential replication, and also innovation strategies in the security sector. Concretely, here are some details on the specific technology that you are targeting. You have to really think about these 5 sectors as innovation domains where your solutions can have an impact. So you will be asked to describe precisely the areas, technology speaking, in which your proposed project fits. The first area is about IoT. Here we are interested in smart sensors, also edge AI applications, also environmental monitoring systems, and the risk detection solutions. The second area is about photonics and optics, and this includes computer vision systems and applications, advanced robotics, smart optical sensors, image recognition technologies, for instance. The third subject is about AI and data analytics, and here we are looking for predictive analytics tools, decision support systems, digital twins, and also risk prediction systems powered by big data analytics. For cybersecurity, which is also a key component here, you have to think about threat detections, attack prevention technologies, blockchain for secure data management, and also infrastructure protection solutions. And finally, the 5th subject is about connectivity, like a cloud platform, like secure communication systems, but also emergency response platforms in case a disaster arrives, and also a protected data exchange mechanism. Keep in mind that this list, actually, the categories are not rigid. If your innovation spans multiple areas, it's also perfectly fine. In the application form, you will have the possibility to select several categories and even to propose others, and you will be asked to justify the selections. What really matters here is which technologies are addressed, under which type of real security challenges. Now let me address the problem that we're trying to solve, which is actually the security value chain challenges that CITADEL aim to tackle. Actually, you will have to identify which challenges you are proposing around three main categories. The first one is about critical infrastructures. Actually, they are entities and infrastructures that deliver essential services to the society, where disruption would cause major or economic consequences. Those entities and those infrastructures have actually important interconnections and strong interdependencies with high regulatory requirements, and they have a very important vulnerability to both physical and cyber threats. Here, we are really focusing about, for instance, energy systems, water systems, transport networks, healthcare systems, and also digital infrastructure. These type of infrastructures are really the backbone of European societies, and their security is really of paramount importance for all citizens. The second subject in the security domain is the challenges which are linked to the resilience, namely the protection against natural disasters linked to green transitions, also the management of technological risks, and what to do in order to ensure service continuity in case of crisis situations, if they are either natural crisis or technological crisis. The first subject is about the protection of the urban environment, namely the protection of the urban space itself. So it includes smart city security, also linked with the green transition, and also the challenges that are presented by large-scale public events, like sports events, demonstrations, cultural events, and so on, that must be protected in case of large crowd. So your project should address at least one of these challenges area, and the same, you will have to justify why your project fits specifically with these categories. You will be asked also to describe the associated security use case and the challenges in your application. You will have also to position your project among the security value chain that you can see on the bottom of the slides. So to see among those 5 steps on the security value chain, on which one you are focusing on. So risk assessment, prevention, risk detection, response, or recovery. And you will have also to justify this choice. Now, concerning the financial support. So as I said, the maximum funding per project is 60,000 euros. It is only available to SMEs, not to entities which are not SMEs. The funding will be provided as a grant with a lump sum mechanism, payment mechanism. The funding rate is maximum 80% of the total project costs. It means that your overall project budget must be at least 75,000 euros for a lump sum grant of 60,000 euros. You will need to submit a budget table in the application form at the application stage for both partners, whether they are SMEs or not SMEs, so that we understand how at least the 60K will be allocated. The requested amount must be exactly 60,000 euros, so no more, no less. The maximum project duration will be 9 months. We expect to have all projects started at the latest on October 1st this year. So it means that the last ending date will be end of June 2027. Regarding the payment schedule, the selected projects will receive up to 20% of the funded at project start, under the condition that the financial viability of the SME are really proven. And this 20% payment will be done right after the signature of the subgrant agreement with the CITADEL consortium. And the remaining 80% will be paid at project closure after that the CITADEL consortium has validated your completed projects, including your KPIs. So now let me go through the eligibility conditions. So it's important that you pay attention to this, because if you are failing to meet them, it will result in a rejection at the very first phase without any evaluation. So firstly, all the applicants must be legal entities which are established in the eligible countries, those I mentioned earlier. Then secondly, you must have a consortium of exactly 2 legal entities, and these 2 legal entities must be independent from each other. Thirdly, partner 1 must be a for-profit digital or tech SME, and partner 2 must be an end user from the security side, representing the security demand side. Fourth point, your applications must be, of course, submitted before the deadline via the online form. And the fifth point, your application must be complete and submitted in English in all mandatory sections. And finally, it is really important that there is only one application per applicant. If we identify more than one proposal for the same applicant, only the last one will be evaluated, and we are going to disregard the other ones. An important point also, only SMEs with good financial health, so not under liquidation and not in financial difficulties, can be funded. Those conditions are really non-negotiable, so it's important that you double check all of them before you submit your application. So how to apply? First point, keep in mind the deadline, which is on the 5th of May at 5 o'clock CET summertime. You will find via those links that you will get from the slides, all the documents that you need. A guide for applicant, which provide all detailed explanations, an FAQ documents, which answer to the most questions, and we might enrich them based on the question that we would have today. And you will find also an application template in PDF to discover which type of content you have to prepare and to structure your proposal. However, this document is just for reference. It must not be completed. You have to complete everything online via the web platform. I will explain to you later on, not in the PDF here. So we have a dedicated online portal, which is called citadel.grandplatform.com. Through this website, applicants can create an account. You can create it immediately if you wish, and you can already start to see how it looks like. The applicant have to enter all required information using text fields, drop-down menus, and also similar input formats. On these documents, you will also be requested to present yourself the KPIs of your projects, against which your project will be validated if selected. You will have also requested to present your detailed work plan, which will be broken into tasks with the deliverables. You will be also asked to upload additional documents in PDF, including the results of the self-financial sustainability check, which is mandatory for SMEs, the results of the SME self-assessment using the European Commission website, which is also mandatory for SMEs. And you will have also the possibility to add optional letters of support from other end users. You can prepare your proposal online, from now on. You can come back online as many times as you wish, up to the deadline, so on the 5th of May. Your proposal can be submitted now, resubmit several times till the call closure. So really have the flexibility to improve it as much as you wish. We strongly encourage you to complete the application with the utmost care and accuracy. This is really important because the information that you will provide will be binding. Because if your project is selected, then this form will be an integral part of the settlement agreement, and you will be evaluated at the end of your project against what you promised in the application form. So the deadline, as I said, I'm going to repeat it, on the 5th of May. So really mark the calendar with this date, since there will be no exceptions for late submissions. So we have covered the application mechanism, and now I'm going to present you regarding the evaluation process and how we're going to select the best projects. So it brings us to the second part of this presentation, so the evaluation and the selection processes. It's very important information because it helps you to understand more precisely how to make applications which are as successful as possible. So these diagrams that you can see actually in the guide for applicants as well represent the evaluation and the selection process, which is made of a total of 6 steps. So running from early May, so it's exactly after the call closure, till July 26. The first step will be actually the eligibility check. We're going to verify the very basic requirements, as I said before, and ineligible applications will be rejected immediately without any evaluation. The second step will be the external evaluation. The evaluation will be done by at least 2 experts, which are independent from CITADEL, and that will be ranked on several criteria on excellence, impact, and implementations. And from that, this evaluation, I will come back later on the details, we will create a ranking list of proposals meeting the threshold. The third step will be the CITADEL consensus meeting, where the selection committee will review and rank the proposal and select the best 24 proposals for jury day. This jury day will actually be online from the 15th to the 17th of June, and the pre-selected applicants will pitch their projects online and receive additional scores on criteria like team quality, project relevance, and transversal criteria. Based on this outcome, the final selection will be done, combining both evaluation, the external one and the jury day, and the top 17 projects will be selected, including also geographical and sector diversity. And the reserve list will be established. And finally, for those top 17 projects, we will ask them to provide administrative and financial documents to verify their eligibility and financial situation. And then we're going to sign the sub-grant agreements with them. And then the funding will begin. A reserve list will be created and activated if needed. So we are really going to have a rigorous and transparent process that ensure a fair evaluation while maintaining a good flexibility in the process. So more into detail regarding the basic requirements, as I said, the basic requirements will be checked. So the fact that your proposals are complete, are readable in English with all the mandatory sections. If not complete or if sections are too hard to read, we will reject it at this stage, and we unfortunately won't give you any chance to fix that. Of course, your proposal must be submitted exclusively via the online platform, citadel.goodgrantplatform.com, within the deadline, and we will check that your consortium composition is complying with our requirements, so having 2 independent legal entities with the right roles and the right countries, namely the eligible ones. We will check also that we have properly filled in the declaration of honors, and that all required attachment documents are also present, specifically the SME declaration, the SME financial viability check, and without this, the rejection will be automatic. Proposals that do not meet this criteria will also be rejected in what we call the first eligibility check. So here it's really important that you are carefully following that process. Then, after passing the basic eligibility check, your proposal will enter into the evaluation stage, where it will be assessed by at least two external experts that are independent from the CITADEL consortium. The experts will be requested to evaluate your proposals again. So 3 criteria: excellence, impact, and implementation. They are going to give scores on scale from 0 to 5 across those 3 criteria. To pass this step, the proposals must score at least 3 out of 5 on each criteria individually, and having at least 10 out of 5 on the sum of the 3, so the total combined score. Additionally, if your 2 partners, as I said, are coming from 2 different countries, you will get 1 extra bonus point here at this stage. So the maximum scoring here will be in total 16 points, 5 plus criteria, plus 1 point for the bonus point. So let me now explain you more into details what the evaluators will look for in the excellence criteria, which is worth also up to 5 points. First, they will evaluate the soundness and the pertinence of the objectives. So how well do you stated your objectives, alignment with the scope of the call, and how your objectives are realistic and well defined. Secondly, the credibility and the KPIs. So how will you measure your success? The KPIs you propose to measure the technological results, are they credible and achievable? Then the concreteness of the technological approach. So here, don't be vague. The evaluators really want to see how concrete and well described is the technological approach. So explain really how you will do it and not just what you will do. The fourth point will be the coherence of the TRL. So does the technological readiness level progression make sense? If you claim to move from TRL 5 to TRL 6 or TRL 6 to TRL 7, it should be really realistic within the 9 months, of your projects. And last point here, the innovativeness will be evaluated. What is really innovative about your solutions and why is it different from what already exists in the market? So then the second criteria will be the impact. So namely, what is industrial and market relevance? So does your project really align with key security challenges? Is it really relevant to the security sector? And is there really a real potential for adoption by end users? You have really to show that end users would like these security solutions on their premises. The second point is about the competitiveness and the innovation capacity. So how really does your project contribute to strengthening competitiveness of European companies? We are really here to think about the competitive advantage of your solution. The third point is about the environmental and the societal dimension with the three main sub components. The first point is how your solution can contribute to the green and digital transition. Is it energy efficient? Is it sustainable? Is it low carbon, for instance? The second point is about the societal impact. Will it really improve public safety? Will it really protect citizens? Or will it really improve urban resilience? And here the ethical side, the ethical aspects will be really important. As a third subject, you will have indeed to explain the ethical aspects, but also the privacy aspects, especially important in AI and data management aspects, and also the social responsibility. This is really important when you are covering, for instance, surveillance technologies or access controls, AI, IoT, and so on. And finally, in these sections, you will have also be requested to explain the potential exploitation strategy. So what are your plans to exploit the results? Will you protect your IP? And what are the market opportunities for you regarding these products, these solutions that you are proposing as a demonstrator? And finally, the last item, implementation, which is worth also up to 5 points, looks really at the practical feasibility of your projects. So first aspect is the work plan. Is your work plan realistic? What are the tasks? Are they clearly described? And is the timing of activities reasonable and feasible within a 9 months project duration? We will also assess the risk assessment. So have you identified potential and technical risks? Especially since we are focusing on demonstration and pilot projects. Are there any risks related to the demonstration that you are planning to do? We are going also to evaluate the appropriateness of the consortium. So are your team members appropriate for this task? Do they have the right expertise? Is there a good complementarity between the SME and the end user? The European dimension would also be assessed here. So beyond, for instance, having just only 2 partners from 2 different countries, you have really an intention to exploit it across European countries. And are you really replying to a challenge which is really present across all Europe and not only a regional specific issue? And finally, we are also going to assess here the cost effectiveness. So is your project appropriate for the work you are proposing? Are the resources you are requesting justified by the objectives, and how the co-funding is managed? So once the actual evaluation is done, we're going to make a ranking list based on the final score that you're going to receive. In case of ties, so namely proposals having the same score, we're going to have what we call the tiebreakers. So the first one will be the impact score. The second one will be the excellence score. And then the second one will be implementation score, and the third one will be excellence score. In case there is still equality, same ranking based on these 3 scores, we are going to give priority to projects which include at least 1 partner from the EU 13 countries, reflecting actually our commitment to support innovation across those countries in the European Union, including the new member states. Based on those rankings, we are going to select the top 24 projects which will be invited to the CITADEL Jury Day. So the Jury Day actually will be an online pitching session planned during a short duration of time from the 15th to the 17th of June. So you will be invited to a very dedicated time slots during one of those 3 days in case you are pre-selecting. The participation online of at least one consortium members will be mandatory. So it will be important that you have at least someone from your team available to participate. You will have the possibility to pitch orally your pre-selected projects in front of the CITADEL jury, which is composed of the CITADEL consortium, the CITADEL selection committee members. You will have the chance to present your project, followed by a question and answer session, where the jury, during 5 minutes, can ask questions in order to go deeply into your proposals. Based on that, your project will be scored on 3 criteria. So the quality of the team, the matching with the CITADEL objectives, and what we call the transversal criteria, including environmental impact, low carbon, and also equal opportunity principle. And the final ranking will be done based on the sum of the scores during the external evaluation, plus the score that you receive from the jury day. And the top 17 projects from this final list will be invited for the sub-grant agreement preparation, plus a reserve list in case any selected projects withdraw and is not available for the next phase. So you have here the detailed timeline. So you know more precisely now what to expect. So the call is open since last week, so it is since the 24th of February. And the hard deadline is on the 5th of May. The evaluation and online jury day will take place from May 5th to the 17th of June. And the final decision will be known on the 18th of June, so the date on which we're going to announce which are the 17 projects which have been selected. Starting this day, we are going to ask the selected projects to provide a number of administrative documents in order to allow us to verify their eligibility and their financial situation beyond the declaration that was made at the application stage. So during the end of June, or July, and August, we are going to enter into the preparation of the grant agreement. And then the granting phase will start. So with a contract signature with Systematic Paris-Région acting as coordinator. And the projects are expected to start at the latest on October 1st with the pre-funding here. The implementation of the project will run till the end of June, during which we will track progress and providing you support in your project development. The project final reporting will be done starting July 27, including impact assessment and the final payment which will be processed in case your project is positively evaluated. So we have now covered everything concerning how CITADEL Open Call works and how the evaluation works. So now you may wonder how to find right partners. So I'm giving back the floor now to Alain for this last part, which will explain you what we have put in place in CITADEL to find partners and which type of support we can provide. So I give you back the virtual microphone, Alain. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marielle, for this very precise presentation. So yes, concerning the way to find partners. So if you are all here now, that means that you have succeeded to connect and to create the profile on this matchmaking day. But for information, we will have another info day on the 7th of April. So feel free to share this information to all potential partners that might be interested in joining the program. And also, I know that some of you have already booked some time slots for the matchmaking event that is going to take place just after this Info Day webinar. So it's you can still have some information further for the second open call and also for the second presentation that will be held on the 7th of April. So concerning the main tips to apply to the project, the most important thing is really that you invest your time and prepare a good application, as Marielle said. And you really need to be sure that the project fits into the CITADEL scope and objectives and impact if you don't want your project to be disqualified at the beginning. So for that, you will need to check all the eligibility requirements first, and be sure that you have a consortium of 2 partners, and also to see if you have any conflict of interest by doing this open call. And then you need to be very careful in reviewing the guide for applicants, and that includes all the list of the identified challenges. And to be really convinced, you really need to convince the evaluators, and so that you have a good project that will match all the criteria. Concerning the payment, you need to check the payments procurement procedure, sorry, and the timeline, and agree the grant distribution with your partner, and the crowdfunding, all the crowdfunding rules. You need also to build your consortium and your team, and plan your demonstration from the application stage directly. To address one of the challenges, and innovation is really key for these open calls. And at last, really remember that the European Commission asked for a green and technical transition dimension. So now we're going to go to the conclusion, the question and answer. So we've had a lot of answers, sorry, a lot of questions that some of them have already been replied by our team. So what I propose is that maybe we can go through all the questions that have received the most votes. So the first question, it's concerning the 20% co-financing from the SMEs, financial resources. So the question is, how should I demonstrate the source of own co-funding? Marielle, you should talk a little bit about that, but maybe you can precise that.
Yes, indeed. So just to explain you, this is a request from the European Commission that the funding that is proposed by the European Commission, so via CITADEL, is backbone from private investment. So indeed, we request that SME partners provide at least 20% of co-funding from private financial sources. So it will be actually up to you to declare which type of sources that you will use. It could be debt or all financial sources, and to confirm this amount then in the final report. However, the European Commission really excludes, for instance, in-kind contributions or staff costs or similar. You can demonstrate it, for instance, via, for instance, own mobilization of own funds or capital contributions, also a bank loan, or for instance, private investments or cash resources, so namely treasury, dedicated to the project. So it is as a declaration at this stage, but at the closure of the project, of your project, you'll be requested to demonstrate that.
Thank you, Marielle. We had a third question concerning this aspect. So I think you have replied to those questions. Another question that has some votes is that can the end user be within defense? I think you talk about that also.
Yes, so actually, CITADEL is not a call for defense application. It's for civil security. However, dual use applications could be envisaged. However, only the civil side of the dual applications could be funded within CITADEL. So in case there is a defense partner, you really have to present what is the, let's say, use case for civil security and not for defense. So I would say that you should take precaution to really demonstrate that it is for civil application and not for defense ones, since it is not the scope to fund defense applications in CITADEL.
Thank you, Marielle. There is also a question concerning the expenses. Are the salaries from the SMEs founder can be included for the project?
I would say yes. There is a section, actually, you have a table to fill in, and there is a one line on personal costs. And I think here you could add also this type of personnel. Yes.
There is also a question concerning the different.
Sorry, Alain, just to complete on that, there are also other categories, and not only personal costs, but you will find also, for instance, subcontracting, equipment, travel. Subcontracting is limited. You could not subcontract more than 30% of the total project cost to be sure that actually the funding remains within the entity.
Thank you, Maëlle. There is a question: is it possible to apply with two different projects involving a different partners? Example: topic 1, partner A and B, and topic 2, partner A and C.
No, applicants, so one entity can only apply for one project. We would not allow two applications from the same entity. And if we are, in case we discover that there are two projects for the same applicant, only the last one submitted will be evaluated, and the other one will be discarded.
Question concerning is a SME has been created in March 2026. Will it be eligible?
It could be, it is eligible to apply. Instead of putting your full balance sheet that you may not have, you would have to indicate your business plan, for instance, into the financial viability plan. So the SME financial viability applications. However, since we don't have any guarantee that your company is solid enough, we reserve the right not to provide any advance payment in case we are in this situation, because it could represent also a risk for us providing the payment that the company is not, financially speaking, is not solid enough from financial point of view. But in strict term, it is eligible to apply, yes.
Thank you. As a governmental body, can a partner participate to the project?
Yes, so governmental body can participate as a partner number 2. So as an end user presenting security challenges, if it is the case, and they are accepted there. Since they are not an SME, they would not be eligible to receive funding. However, they will be a fully engaged party in the project. They would also sign the sub-grant agreement together with their main partner, the SME, but without receiving any funding.
Okay, it's so many questions arriving. Let's see. And there's a question concerning Ukraine. So yes, we say it's Ukraine is eligible to enter the project.
Yes, Ukraine actually is one of the countries which have signed a partnership agreement with the European Commission to be part of the single market program, especially the COSME program, under which CITADEL is funded. So since this agreement has been signed before the starting of CITADEL, as such, it is eligible to participate in all Eurocluster programs, not only CITADEL, but also in other programs from Eurocluster, since we have also 15 other projects run by colleagues that are operating.
Thank you. Is hardware security projects are also eligible?
Hardware security. Do we talk, for instance, about hardware for chips, for instance, or hardware in the terms of
flying
fancies
protection against UAV, for example?
Sorry?
The example was providing flying protection against UAV, autonomous vehicles.
Actually, in the prototype that you will propose, you must really have a digital dimension. So as I said, on technologies like AI, IoT, cybersecurity, photonics, optics, telecommunications. So pure, I would say pure mechanical, physical security as such would not be eligible. However, if the hardware component is strongly linked with any of the digital technologies, this could be eligible.
Okay. Can a company developing security technologies be considered an end user in the security sector?
A company developing security technologies, you mean?
Yeah, that's a question.
Well, the end user should be really the entity owning a security challenges. I would like to protect my infrastructure. I would like to protect this territory. I would like to protect this area and so on. So if it is the case, yes. If it's only a technological provider, I would say no.
Okay.
You can complete myself, Alain, also in case I'm not clear, but I hope,
okay.
Yeah.
There is a question concerning the grant. The minimis rule are applied?
The de minimis rules, you mean?
Yes.
De minimis? No, actually, European fundings like that in cascade funding usually is not under the de minimis rules. So you don't have to calculate, you don't have to take them into considerations.
There's still a lot of questions coming up. Concerning the COE I was mentioning, it's the conflict of interest. I'm answering the question. A consortium of one tech SMEs and one end user means that the grant will cover all expenses of only the SMEs tech for profit and not the non for profit end user.
Can you repeat, Alain, please?
Yeah, the question is a consortium of one tech SME and one end user. Does that mean that the grant will cover all expenses of only the SMEs tech for profit and not the non-for-profit end user?
Indeed, the funding can go only to for-profit SME. So in this case, only to partner one. I understand it correctly. And the second partner in this example is not an SME, so it's not eligible to receive the fundings because the Eurocluster program is funding SMEs only.
Since non-SME security end users are not funded, can two end users, one from the same country, one from another country, be included?
We would allow, as a consortium, only two partners. One, as I said, partner one, technological provider SME, partner two, an end user, no more than two partners. In case you have several end users, there is a field in the application form in which you can provide, as an option, additional letters of support from other end users that would have interest in your projects and that would potentially work on it or having an interest in the deployment. So in case this potentially third partner would not be a formal partner, but can provide a letter of support via this dedicated field in the application form.
The question concerning the evaluation results, when are they expected?
So it is expected, let's say the evaluation from the first part of the evaluation, namely the independent experts. It is expected that the entities which will be invited to the jury day will know it within the 1st of June. And then after that, the jury day will be held on from the 15th to the 17th of June. So we will inform the final list of selected projects on the 18th of June. And then there will be a reserve list also. So in case we have an unsuccessful signature of grant agreement for any reasons with one of the pre-selected 17 applicants, we might call also the reserve list later on, so in July, for instance.
There is a question concerning the external evaluators. Will there be a call?
Yes, indeed. We are going to launch a call for external evaluators during the second half of March. And that is going to be published also via the CITADEL social account and website that was indicated on the slides. So stay tuned if you're interested in.
I'm just checking the last questions that just came out. Could you please confirm if a software solution focused on cybersecurity would be eligible for this funding program?
Yes, they would be eligible if they are an SME as partner number one, and as long as they find the relevant end user to deploy their solution. Cybersecurity use cases are fully eligible.
What kind of formal documents or action will be required from end users during the proposal stage? Example, peak, contribution to jury dates, etc.
During the project or during the evaluation? Can you please repeat?
Yes, what kind of formal documents will be required from the end users during the proposal stage?
During the proposal stage, if your end user is not an SME, there is no specific documentation at the proposal stage. If the end user is an SME that is looking for funding, Likewise, the partner one, in the proposal application, the end user will be also requested to fill in the SME self-assessment tool from the European Commission, and to fill in the financial viability form that is also provided by the European Commission.
Thank you. A project that was submitted to EIC Advanced Innovation Challenges that will be in TRL 5 after that be eligible for funding. So it can go from TRL 5 to TRL 6 under CITADEL.
Yes, indeed. We expect that the TRL for the project at the starting phase would be at least TRL 5 or 6, so namely having a prototype, and that the TRL increase would be at least of one level, so going at least to 6 or to 7. So in this respect, such project could be proposed there. The goal is really to have a project that have already developed prototypes, I would say. That's why we are imposing this TRL 5 as a starting point, not starting from scratch.
Thank you, Marielle. I think we have answered all the key questions that are on the chat. So we are getting close to the end of this Info Day webinar. So I don't know if Marielle, if you want to have a conclusion word.
Yes, we can add a few elements saying that there will be indeed this matchmaking session this afternoon, and that another webinar like this one will be organized on the 7th of April, as I said. So in case you have other questions, they could be asked at that time. At the cluster level, also the 6 partners of CITADEL are organizing regularly regional events to present also CITADEL in their own languages, in their own countries. So you could follow also that. They will be also disseminated via the clusters. There is a website, the application platform, plus the contact email address, citadel@aktantis.com, that you could use in case you would like to have more questions on that. So don't hesitate also to use these resources. In case we see that there are some questions asked today that are not in the FAQ, we may also enrich it via the FAQ. So we are really fully engaged with you to provide the right support to apply to the CITADEL Open Call 1.
Could you just say again the email for questions?
Well, I think it is in the slide, in the last slide, if I'm not mistaken, the concluding one, citadel@aktantis.com.
Yes, here it is.
Yes, it is here, yeah.
So anyhow, we're going to share the presentation, so we'll be able to have all the information and the email address if we didn't answer your question. So thanks to all of you, and good luck for the one of you who are going to have some matchmaking meetings later on. And if you want to communicate about the CITADEL Open Call 1, do not hesitate to do so to your potential partners. And anyhow, we are going to have another Info Day session the 7th of April. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.